Welcome to AGORACOM CEO Interviews, in which we take the time to interview CEOs and executives from small-cap public companies. With us today is Alan French, President and CEO of Santo Mining Corp., trades on the OTCQB under the stock symbol SANP. If you don't know about the company, this is a junior resource company in the enviable position of having both a near-term production project in Mexico as well as a world-class exploration opportunity in the Dominican Republic. Now, more than just lip service, in the Dominican, the company's got 3 claims next to Barrick Gold, and their Charles claim is just 1 mile from Gold Quest 2012 Monster Gold Discovery. Alan, welcome back to the show.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here, George.
Alan, given that investors in this environment seem much more interested in production, let's start with your Mexico operations, where you're hoping to start producing in 2014 and then hoping to go right through to 2030. Are you still on track for production in 2014?
Yeah, we're pretty much on track in Mexico, George. We're now waiting for some final metallurgy results from SGS and a final mineralogy report from Montana Tech. Which should be any day now. And during this time, we're just confirming some previous assays, and so we're well positioned once we get the technical reports back.
And for those at home that are listening and not sure about what a metallurgy testing process means, you're trying to optimize gold and silver extraction by going through the testing process. Why is that important to you?
Well, we're probably going to be concentrating the ore and the metallurgy testing. This round of testing, which is called characterization testing,
right,
pretty much defines what processes can be used to accomplish the concentrating most economically. So. Again, that's what we're waiting for, and we're probably going to be doing a gravity concentration and flotation, and then transporting the concentrate to either a local or a Dominican smelter refinery.
Now, it's taken a little while longer than most because you've actually commissioned leading laboratories in the metallurgy business as opposed to going the cheap route, and that should bring you increased confidence in the results that you get back?
Exactly. Yeah, we just want to use the better-known laboratories, better recognized ones, so we'd have maximum respect on the reports.
You're not just shipping out product for analysis to these leading labs. You're also doing quite a bit of pre-analysis in-house, which I haven't seen very often. What kind of things are you doing in-house, and why?
Well, we haven't actually done it in-house yet, but we're preparing to. We're preparing a pilot plant in the Dominican and also in Mexico as we speak. Probably within a few days, that both plants will be ready, and they're designed as these materials. In the Dominican Republic, most of the opportunities are with sulfide, massive sulfide deposits, and so in order to maximize the accuracy of the laboratory testing and fire analyses which they perform, we've decided to go ahead and pre-treat all our samples by roasting and gas chlorination, which completely oxidizes, which removes the sulfide and oxidizes the samples, so they're more responsive to the testing.
Now, from a company point of view, does that add costs to your process, or does it actually save money because you're doing the work? You will be doing the work in-house.
doing this pre-treatment, there's not a lot of laboratories that offer that, and the pre-treatment, because of the chlorine, is fairly expensive. So, and we don't anticipate using chlorine, and possibly not even the roasting in the final processing. But we just really wanted to speed up the analysis process and make sure that the results were maximized, and that in itself will result in direct and indirect savings. Yes, and the other thing what we're doing is we haven't ordered the material, but we're in the evaluating right now, potentially doing our own in-house fire analysis, because the equipment that we have for the pre-testing, we don't need a lot more equipment in order to be able to do our own in-house fire analysis. And then when we have good results, then they can be confirmed by the ISO certified labs, so we can use them in our reporting.
Let's talk about your Dominican Republic operations. We talked about Mexico a little more at the beginning here. Those operations provide a massive opportunity, given the proximity of your project to both Barrick and Gold Quest. So that's great on the one hand to have. But what's your priority? Because all companies, I'm assuming, even yours, you don't have all the resources you could ever dream for. So how do you allocate, and where allocating your time and money to, your time, money, and human resources as far as priorities there?
Well, we're probably spending more time down next to Gold Quest. The area is a little bit more remote down there, so the exploration takes a little bit more time. So we've had the exploration team continuing to collect samples down there. We're also looking at some other opportunities and doing some due diligence in the area of Gold Quest, and the Barrick operation is very close to, but we've done a fairly thorough sampling, surface sampling of the claims near Barrick, and we've been inventorying the samples, and then once we have the pre-treatment pilot plant up, we'll go ahead and pre-treat those samples and maybe do a fire analysis ourselves, or certainly we'll send them off to the labs. Either way, we'll go ahead and get those analyzed as soon as we're able to pre-treat them.
I'm assuming you have to feel very enthused by the results that Gold Quest put out today, July the 9th, where they announced about 270 meters grading 2.4 grams ton of gold and about 0.56% copper. How does that make you guys feel over there?
Yeah, those guys, they've been working the area for a long time down there, and it's just really in the last year that they've seemed to have benefited from all the hard work that they've put in there. But we're very pleased for them, and as soon as we're able to, we hope to, once the drill targets are better defined on Charles, start a drilling program of our own, and hopefully we'll be able to duplicate some of their good results.
All right, let's move on to the financing you announced earlier this year. You had a $16 million common stock purchase agreement with Hanover Holding. What are those funds being used for, and what's the status of that financing right now?
Well, the agreement that we have, it's almost a unilateral agreement insofar as that there's a 3-year term on it where we're able to draw up to $16 million. And we decide 100% when and how much we draw. So initially, what we'll use the funds for is to pay down some short-term financing that we've used in order to keep up the momentum. Mm-hmm. then we'll probably be focusing on Mexico first in order to
Get production up and running.
install a pre-production pilot
Right.
plant, concentration plant in Mexico, and probably do probably acquire 1 or 2 drill rigs and start a drill program in Mexico and for instance, in Charles, and some shallow drilling around Barrick, because most of our concessions are covered by approximately 30 feet of alluvial. So we want to drill through that alluvial to check the base, the rocks underneath, and get those tested as soon as possible. So to answer you, to summarize, really drilling and pilot plants, and paying off some small amount of short-term convertible debt before they're converted.
Then I have to give you credit. At a time when a lot of junior resource companies seems like they're just buttoning down and not doing anything. They're afraid to be spending any money. They're afraid to be doing work. Santo Mining is, in fact, pushing ahead as fast as it can.
Well, yeah, and we've really only been in operation as Santo Mining for about a year in the Dominican, and so our momentum's, I'm pretty impressed with our momentum. And once we have access to these funds, I think we can really seriously ratchet up to a much higher momentum and take advantage of some of these resources that we're lucky enough to have.
I'll end it off on this note. Gold and silver, I guess I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you, and I'm sure people at home are wondering. Gold and silver prices have been very weak as of late. Does that concern you at all, or does the long-term nature of the project mean that you're not too concerned about short-term blips either to the upside or downside?
No, it obviously, the higher the gold price, the better. At the levels, I'm not really concerned at the levels that they're at. We really don't monitor, on a daily basis. But if the gold dips down below about $700, then that would be a concern. But we're still, a good $500 away from that. So at this point, it's not a real serious concern to us, no.
Oh, well, good to know that you have such a cushion, $700, where most companies at $1,200 and $1,300 got to start shutting down operations. If you've got a cushion down to $700, the wisdom would seem to think that you're okay for now.
Yeah, with Mexico, it's a surface operation. The material is not too hard, and we have good access to the entire concession. So, certainly we have that in our favor. The extraction costs are probably lower than some of the underground mines and some of the mines that have a lot of overburden.
Alan, I want to thank you for joining us. This is your second time out with us. The first time you actually speak to us on video from Mexico. Today it's via audio from the Dominican Republic, so it's great when you have such an internationally accessible CEO, and I want to thank you for taking the time out to share the company's updates with us.
Well, my pleasure, George. Look forward to next time.
You've been listening to Alan French. He's President and CEO of Santo Mining Corp. Trades on the stock symbol SANP on the OTCQB. You can find more information about them on their website or get to AGORACOM and join the Santo Mining Hub so you can ask questions, get answers, and find out all the latest information about the company. Thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you again next time.
Terrific.